Spiritual Teaching 189. Love each other. 1. Humanity. I have come to unite you. I perceive you as a multitude that is scattered throughout the world, but I want you to be as one. I am giving you a new page from the book of life that is yet unknown to my disciples. 2. My people. The spirit of Elijah is manifesting itself through human spokesmen and speaks to you with words filled with enlightenment and prophecy. He is the same one who in the first era surprised humanity with his power. Do not be surprised when I tell you that he was also on earth in the second era, having reincarnated as John the Baptist. I tell you this so you will not be surprised, because this is not a new revelation. This revelation was previously written in the Bible. 3. The prophets had stated that Elijah would come before Christ to prepare the path for the Lord, and that prophecy was fulfilled. Jesus later declared that prior to his second coming, Elijah would first come to restore everything. That promise has now been fulfilled. 4. Tomorrow, after this revelation is studied by those who have greatly analyzed the scriptures, they will be able to confirm that the spirit of Elijah did come in this period to fulfill the same mission that he fulfilled in the second era. His mission is to prepare humanity for the coming of the Lord and to purity those who are to become disciples of the Holy Spirit. 5. Today, he does not come to earth to suffer as he did in the first and second era. In those eras he was ridiculed, persecuted, and murdered. That happened because he prophesied that all who were wicked would be judged. 6. Today he has come in spirit, and therefore he cannot be touched or hurt by human beings. Nevertheless, this multitude still offers him a better chalice of ingratitude. 7. Elijah is like a shepherd who lovingly seeks his sheep that have gone astray. When he discovers that one is missing from his flock, and that it is crying because it realizes it has gone astray near the steep cliffs, Elijah quickly goes to seek it. He feels great joy when he successfully rescues it from danger. He lovingly looks forward to returning it to his flock, but experiences great sorrow when he returns to the sheepfold and discovers that many others have jumped the fence, leaving through their own free will. 8. These multitudes who have seen Elijah manifest himself through human spokesmen and who have witnessed the blossoming of this doctrine that he began, will not be the ones who will most carefully analyze these revelations given by the Lord. Tomorrow, others will arrive and will be convinced of the truth of this doctrine just by listening to testimony given by this multitude. Thus, they will proclaim to others that the Lord has returned a second time and that Elijah was his forerunner. 13. There is no need to repeat my word to your brethren exactly as I have phrased it. Prepare yourself to be able to explain it. Do not use eloquent words attempting to impress others. Rather, speak in a simple manner, which is the best way to explain the spiritual truth. 14. How will you know if it is you or I who speaks through your lips? You will receive my divine inspiration when you begin to truly forget about yourself, when you think about your brethren who suffer, and when you feel humble and unworthy of receiving my grace. It is at that moment that your entire being feels great love toward God and your brethren. 15. When you perform a deed in my name, know how to use my name and never pronounce it in vain. 16. Those who fulfill my work are rewarded. Whoever gives will receive. Whoever refuses to give will eventually lose what he has and will greatly suffer. I want you to comprehend my doctrine, whose foundation is charity and love. 17. Practice good deeds, for that is your mission. However, when your material body leads you astray, you feel unworthy of being my disciple. You then think that there are many others who are better than you, but who have not been summoned. I say to you that I summoned you because your heart lacked peace and your path was full of obstacles. You were stained with sins. 18. When I selected my disciples in the second era, they were also not virtuous. However, they became worthy through their deeds and elevated themselves by practicing my teachings. I want you to become virtuous and worthy like my previous apostles. Elevate yourself through your deeds, and you will get close to me. 19. If I were to ask you what you have learned from all that I have taught you, you would acknowledge that you have learned very little. I have not come to judge you, but to forgive you, because your faults are similar to those of mankind. Thus, when I speak to you, I am speaking to all of my children. 20. I have designated you to be my messenger. You will seek the means to relate with your brethren. You will achieve great merit if you are able to overcome their disbelief through your deeds and words of love. Be careful that when you offer testimony of my teachings to others, you do so with truth and perfection. Otherwise, you will not have presented my teachings like they should be presented. 21. Always pursue harmony between spiritual and material things, or in other words, learn to give to God what belongs to God, and to give to the world what belongs to the world. 22. I come to give myself to humanity in these teachings. You will discover wisdom, virtue, and perfection in the essence of this word. Nourish yourself with its essence, so that you may share it with your brethren. 23. Take advantage of these moments, because the day approaches us when this word will no longer be heard. My will shall be fulfilled. The era of spiritual communication between God and man is near. Therefore, I will no longer need human spokesmen to manifest myself. 24. In this era, in which I offer you spiritual enlightenment through these teachings, I have granted humanity the opportunity to interpret them correctly. 25. Today I observe that each one of my disciples, as they gather around the Divine Master to listen to his teachings, interprets my word differently. When my disciples gather to discuss their interpretations, they criticize one another and disagree. I want my people to be united in their thoughts. To achieve this, you need to practice charity, tolerance, and learn to speak at the appropriate time. 26. Although each one of you now interprets my teachings differently, in the future everyone will attain the same level of comprehension and knowledge. This will inspire all of you in your battle, because you will feel much stronger if you are united. 27. I have always told you not to create any theories from my teachings and revelations, for they would detract from the truth that I have come to bring you. 28. Discover in my doctrine that freedom of which I speak, so that you will truly attain freedom and thus be able to perceive everything more clearly. 29. Each time that I have come, I have taught you how to communicate with the Father. I have come to teach you to discover the truth within yourself and not to seek it in doctrines that only keep you from progressing spiritually. Humanity has progressed from infancy into this area of enlightenment, in which man will be exposed to the infinite knowledge of God. 30. In order to perceive the enlightenment that illuminates this area, it is necessary to remove the blindfold that man wears due to his religious fanaticism. That is why I gave Moses a law which states, "Man shall not worship any idol, nor any material thing, in place of God. Man shall love God, above everything else, with all his heart and spirit." 31. You ask me, why did the world fall into fanaticism and materialistic worship? It happened because the individuals who were entrusted with my law did not imitate Jesus, who rejected honors, elegance, and vanity. These individuals preferred wealth, titles, and material greatness, thus depriving the spirit of its freedom. There are even those who, in their confused and backward state, feel that they are incapable of mistakes. The only being who is infallible is the Divine Father. 32. Thus, if you want your spirit to progress, use your intelligence and spirituality, and practice goodwill and humility. Thus you will progress spiritually and will guide your spirit to salvation. 33. I have come to let you feel my love and to remove obstacles from your path, decreasing the weight of your cross. 34. I perceive the innermost part of your heart, and I say to you, prepare your mind, elevate your thoughts, and unify your senses so that you will be able to listen to my word and analyze it. 35. Pray and correct your sinful behavior, because world peace depends on your spiritual evolution. You need to pray to achieve peace because the world is threatened by war. You are the people who are familiar with the power of prayer, its ability to cause change, and its ability to enlighten. 36. Everyone seeks a peaceful land and they have not found it, because brotherhood does not exist among mankind. Observe the turmoil existing throughout the world with nations battling one another. They are inspired only by the hope that somewhere on earth there does exist peace. That land where peace exists is found in this nation, which is seen like a distant shining star. 37. Thus, this multitude who has witnessed my manifestation has an important mission and responsibility. These people need to prepare themselves, spiritually and materially, so they can set examples of brotherhood, elevation, and charity for others to follow. They will do this by healing the ill and by showing acts of forgiveness toward their enemies. 38. Work with devotion in my fields and you will perceive in all that surrounds you great beauty. You will have then discovered the reason for your existence. Whoever becomes stagnant by practicing rituals will not allow his spirit to elevate. He will not perceive the beautiful and wonderful things found in life, which can only be seen by those who live within my law. 39. Analyze yourself carefully so that you will discover if you are leading an unpredictable life. That will occur if you allow yourself to be guided by the tendencies of the flesh. I want your deeds to bear fruit so that you can help create a world of peace for your children. 40. Through this multitude I will inform humanity about these teachings that it will learn about after 1950. 41. These revelations will reach all of humanity. That is why I have prepared those whom I have named golden pens. They will work with great devotion and will be guided by their conscience, enabling my teachings to become printed. These writings are for the present and future generations. 42. The greatness of my word, given throughout the years, lies in its simplicity and in its essence. I want your language to reflect those same qualities when you speak about my work. Do not forget that you not only speak with your lips but also with your heart. Allow your deeds to reflect purity. 43. I continually give you the strength, enlightenment, and peace that you need for your journey. Also, I give you my blessings as well. 31. You ask me, why did the world fall into fanaticism and materialistic worship? It happened because the individuals who were entrusted with my law did not imitate Jesus, who rejected honors, elegance, and vanity. These individuals preferred wealth, titles, and material greatness, thus depriving the spirit of its freedom. There are even those who in their confused and backward state feel that they are incapable of mistakes. The only being who is infallible is the Divine Father. 32. Thus, if you want your spirit to progress, use your intelligence and spirituality, and practice goodwill and humility. Thus you will progress spiritually and will guide your spirit to salvation. 33. I have come to let you feel my love and to remove obstacles from your path, decreasing the weight of your cross. 47. Here, in this nation, I manifest myself verbally through these enlightened beings whom I selected to be my spokesman. When I speak to these multitudes, I dedicate some of my words to children, whom I encourage to follow the path of virtue. They need to avoid the path of evil which has guided so many beings toward the abyss. 48. from their most tender age. I want children to have a complete understanding of their mission. I speak directly to the youth in order to guide them along the uncertain path of their lives, because I perceive them like fragile boats in the midst of an enraged sea. To help them, my divine truth is now before their eyes, guiding them toward salvation, like a shining lighthouse. I find that the youth are the ones who are most distant from me. 49. While man is still a child, he prays and thinks about God. He does the same when he reaches the peak of his life and begins to descend, like the sun that sets in the west. However, when his heart is like a bird that is anxious to fly, and his flesh vibrates when touched by the temptations of the world, he feels strong. Then he begins to separate from the divine teachings. He does this because he does not want a doctrine of humility, love, and sacrifice which would disapprove of his current deeds, words, and thoughts. 50. Only when man realizes that he lost himself in a sea of passions will he seek that divine lighthouse, whose light will guide him to the port of salvation. 51. I have listened to those who are widows say to me, Father, look at us. We are like leaves that have fallen from a tree blown by the wind. I have informed them that they are not alone, and that their spouse, who has departed on a spiritual journey to another world, is still observing them from there. He still protects and helps them, and has only departed a few moments ahead of them to prepare the path for all those who were entrusted to him. 52. But if you are unable to feel the presence of your former spouse, pray to me, and I will allow you to feel his presence. I will comfort and assist individuals, and I will offer my gentle companionship to those needing my guidance and help along their journey. 53. If the beasts in the jungle, the birds in the sky, and the flowers in the valley all continually receive rays of love and life from the Divine Father, how could you possibly believe that I would deny you the grace of my love for one single moment, if your spirit is a part of my own divinity? 54. The father of a family seeks me to tell me about his worries and preoccupations. His children reject his authority and ignore his parental advice. 55. I need to inform you that your responsibilities are very great, but your children will not become lost if you imitate me along your path. That is, you must have faith, enduring your chalice patiently, and you must love and forgive your brothers and children. 56. My people, if you yearn for my work to be known throughout the world, live according to my doctrine, apply my teaching to each one of your deeds, and bless your home with the virtue that emanates from this word. Be aware that your past is like a sealed book. Your life today is like a new and unknown journey, a journey that you will need to travel until the end. Today you are satisfied following my teaching whenever you desire. But the moment will come when I will ask this multitude to give me an account of all that it has done with my teachings. 57. Do not forget that this multitude has been fulfilling a spiritual mission on earth for a long time, and that it has been summoned to fulfill an important mission among humanity. If the charity of the Lord has sent you to dwell on earth, sow at least one seed, but let it to be a seed of love, peace, and spirituality. Thus, your journey on earth will have been productive. I need to inform you that in spite of this nation's great destiny, you should not consider it as the promised land nor as a new Jerusalem. Do not confuse anyone or confuse yourself. The Lord would not make his disciples heirs to material benefits. This nation has a great mission, and this nation will evolve greatly. Therefore, its inhabitants are the ones who will announce my presence to the world. Also, they will offer testimony of the truth and greatness of my doctrine through their deeds and examples. 58. I will leave visible evidence of my communication in this era, which will move and deeply touch humanity. I will leave my word written under divine dictation. 59. My teachings will initially become written in books, where man will enter my secret sanctuary and penetrate into my wisdom. When the essence of my teachings becomes engraved in the hearts of my disciples, they will carry those teachings within their spirit. 60. You have experienced great joy, having witnessed my manifestation through the human spokesman. I have sent you my spiritual messengers so that they can clarify and explain my messages. I have sowed marvelous things along your path and have allowed you to perceive spiritual things that have amazed you. However, you are not the only ones who will enjoy these manifestations, because in the second era I said that everyone would perceive me spiritually. Truly I say that all of humanity will eventually perceive me. Also, the spiritual world will manifest itself to mankind. These manifestations will touch and shaken even those who are most doubtful. 61. Man still needs to see spiritual things materialize and divine things take human form in order to believe. I have granted this grace to some. 62. My people, be fully aware of the destiny that you have among all the nations on earth so that you will fulfill your mission, because now is the appropriate time. 63. I come to prepare your heart so that I may dwell in it. The world will also become prepared, and the seed of peace will germinate in each human heart. Those of you who sowed that seed will be pleased as you perceive the fruit of your labor. You have imitated the divine master by praying for your brethren and teaching them to live a virtuous life. 64. There will be talk of reconciliation, brotherhood, and peace for all nations. That will be the beginning of the unification of humanity. 65. I have been preparing you. I now ask you if you are willing to arise to go in pursuit of your brethren to share the wisdom that I have given you, answering their questions correctly. This should not appear as an impossible task for anyone to fulfill. Behold that with the knowledge that I have given you, you are now able to comprehend your mission. 66. It will not be necessary for all of my children to journey to foreign lands. Many times, all you will need to do is pray and cleanse your heart so that your spirit will manifest itself in foreign lands to help your brethren. Those who live in foreign lands will be alerted by spiritual beings. 67. You will unite with the spiritual world to prevent new wars and suffering. Continue to pray for those who pretend to achieve spiritual power through the use of force. You and the world will be surprised when you realize that reason, fraternity, and justice are not dominated through force. 68. Be careful not to offer any false charity to your brethren, attempting to conceal selfishness in your heart. Carry out as many good deeds as you can without expecting anything in return. Do them through love, as I have always taught, and you will then accumulate merits that will help you to elevate spiritually. Practice my teaching in the manner that I have requested. It is the same teaching that I gave to my prophets and my apostles in the past years. 69. Due to his materialism, man has found it convenient to misinterpret the word that I have given to him during all years. But my work is perfect, and it is not based on the interpretation that man gives to my doctrine. Prepare yourself, and you will always discover my truth. You will discover that during all eras I have truly given you a great seed. You must now give it to your brethren with love and charity, the way I gave it to you. 70. It will not be necessary for you to impress anyone using rituals or material ways. The temple in your heart will become visible, and your brethren will perceive its lamp and its altar. 71. Learn how to feel my presence, not only when you are carrying out a kind deed, but also when you are struggling to get out of the abyss. 72. I have taught you to seek the truth in its simplicity. Man foolishly seeks to discover the truth using elaborate sciences that he has created. Why do you seek me in such distant places? If I am within you, who is not aware that man has been created in the image of the Father, and that man is endowed with divine attributes such as the conscience, intelligence, and free will. 73. I came to live among men in the second era and shared their bread and homes. The greatness of Christ lies in his humility. 74. I teach you in this manner so that you will separate yourself from material things and practice deeds of love with your brethren. However, you first need to purify yourself, because it is a law that all beings will eventually evolve. Therefore, since all things created by God evolve, you should not be surprised by those prophecies that will soon be fulfilled. You will rejoice with what you will perceive, because it will verify that everything is governed by a perfect law. Your spirit could not have previously experienced what it is now experiencing, because everything occurs at the appropriate time, until perfection is achieved. 75. The struggle for the progress of humanity does not only occur on earth. Spiritual beings from other mansions also work for the progress and salvation of humanity. That is why I say to you that the spiritual seed will blossom amidst all religions. After the great battles, and after men proclaim that a new religion has come to sow division, you will inform humanity that spiritualism is a doctrine. It is the same doctrine that was first given to mankind, and the only one that has governed all spirits. Your words will emanate from your heart, where your emotions are stored. I have always taught you to love one another. These emotions of love manifest themselves when you cry because of one's suffering or when you shed tears of happiness for another brethren. 76. I am speaking to you through human spokesmen. My enlightenment and my grace penetrates into the spokesman and becomes translated into words. My word outlines the only path through which you will reach me, a path that will require you to practice humility and purity. My peace be with you.